I think she'll be gone for a while, Craig.
One can only hope. Too bad she didn't take that creepy cat-shaped clock with her. Those moving eyes weird me out.
And the 8-foot-tall pink teddy bear doesn't?
Oh, it most certainly does as well, but I don't have to look at it, and it doesn't remind you that it's there. Every single second.
I'm sorry, Craig. I didn't know about any of this.
It's not your fault, Miss Beatty.
I'm sorry anyway. It's nice to see you again, even with all this.
It's nice to see you again, too, Miss Beatty. It's been a few years.
Call me Carla, Craig. You've really made a name for yourself.
Well, that wasn't my intention. I try not to draw too much attention to myself.
I know. But when I bought that turkey fryer, and it had the same company name you and Dot talked about back when you were in school, I knew it was you. But I imagine this isn't how you thought your day would end, being stuck here with me.
No, but I do have to say it sort of fits with how my day started.
I don't understand.
Today has been one heck of a day. And it started in court.
You may be seated. I see we have our esteemed district attorney himself here for the prosecution.
Yes, Your Honor. I felt, given the high profile of the defendant, that I should present the case for trial myself.
Understood. And for the defense?
Arch J. Davis, attorney at law.
Given the circumstances, Counselor, I'm surprised to find that you're representing the accused.
Under our system of law, Your Honor, the accused is always entitled to a defense no matter how heinous the crime.
I am well aware, Counselor, of the Sixth Amendment to the United States Constitution. I was speaking more to the defendant's choice of lawyer, given the identity of the decedent.
Both the accused and the widow asked us to represent him.
Intriguing. Very well, gentlemen, let us begin. Dr. Craig Gregory.
Yes, Your Honor.
Dr. Gregory, this is a hearing to determine if there is enough evidence to bind you over for trial on the first-degree murder of Trevor Waring, Esquire, attorney at law. The prosecution may now make its opening statement.
My Amazing Woman, starring Lena Garcia and AJ Cruz.
You were on trial for murder?
Technically, not on trial. It was just a preliminary hearing to determine if I should be brought to trial.
So there is a difference. I never paid much attention to all of that court stuff when Warren would go on trial. I was mortified people even knew I was married to him by the end.
So why did you marry him anyway?
Well, there was a time when he was charming and funny. Just a stage magician with goofy tricks. And then he just started stealing stuff.
Well, the whole thing started for me way before today, with a man I was supposed to be responsible for killing.
Really, Trevor? Dr. Reflecto?
Look, I didn't ask for this case, Anacat. Arch assigned it to me.
Dr. Reflecto once tried to trap me in a mirror.
And I'm sorry he did that, and I'm glad you got out. But everyone in America is entitled to a defense, no matter what they've been accused of doing.
I know. I just wish it wasn't you doing the defending.
I do too now. But would it help any if I told you that I don't think he did it this time?
You think he's innocent?
This time? Yeah, I do. He says he was arguing with his ex-wife about his daughter at the time of the robbery. Now, I have witnesses from his ex-wife's neighborhood who say they heard arguing over her place, but they can't give a good enough time estimate, and they can't say for sure it was Simon.
Reflecto.
We try not to use code names in court. It tends to prejudice the jury against us.
You don't say.
Anyway, if I could just get his ex-wife to swear to it that he was over there when it happened, I could get him off. But she seems to hate him enough to lie on the stand, so I'm looking for another way.
But didn't the police say that the robbery was his modus operandi?
Been watching Australian lawyers in Lavagan?
That's not the name of the show.
Yeah, well, you know what? I still like my title better. And yes, the prosecution is saying it matches his MO, but it doesn't.
The thief used reflected light to blind people.
Right, and that part is the same, but for starters, he's never once tried to rob a self-help bookstore before. Even when it was just a pure money grab, his targets involved shiny objects like diamonds, crystals, mirrors, stuff like that.
I remember him and Liz Featherstone going at it under a big disco ball one time.
You know, for someone having no powers and very few gimmicks, the Queen of Clubs can hold her own in a fight with anyone.
I thought she and KR were going to wreck the set of the game show before any of us could get out. But, yeah, I see your point. When Alice grew to giant size and plucked him off that flagpole, he was after the sterling silver ball on the top.
Right. Likewise, when the mighty Heracles ran into him at the jewelry store, he was after diamonds.
And Snowy Owl caught him stealing expensive crystal.
The usage of power in this case fits, but the target is all wrong.
I hate to say it, but you might be right.
Again, if I could just get the ex-wife to honestly testify, I know I could clear him of the charges. But I might have enough to work with what I have. Anyway, Annie-Cat, I have to get to work. And remember, I'm stopping by Craig's penthouse on the way home.
Oh, the flowering trees and other landscaping are very pretty this time of year, and way less creepy than his lab. But why are you going over there?
I'm going so he can do a data dump from his commercial version of Betsy he put on my phone.
Wow, he trusted you with Betsy? Look at you two, all best buddies now.
I mean, I wouldn't say that. He can be droll and pedantic sometimes.
At times.
Anyway, I'm sure he figured that if Wales and the Liberty Guild could trust me with their apps, he could trust me with Betsy.
Trusting people isn't exactly Greg's strong suit.
But he really is out there trying to help people. And he can even be fun to be around. Sometimes. I have to go. Love you.
I love you too.
I refuse to be the alibi for Warren, Mr. Waring. So I suggest you stop calling me.
That did not go well.
No, it did not.
Olive, Wales has, X-ray satellites, right?
I'm afraid not. We used to, but they kept interfering with our atomic helicopters.
You're never going to let me forget about that, are you?
It's not in my plans, no. Why do you ask?
It's this case. I know Simon was there at the time of the robbery, but she absolutely refuses to corroborate it. I was hoping Wales could help me prove it.
You wanted to use the top-secret resources of a consortium of world governments to help you win a case.
You know, it didn't sound that bad when I thought it in my head. Maybe Greg has some way to prove it.
I don't know that asking your superhero friends to help you win a case is any better.
Well, what would you suggest?
Let's think this through. Before you had friends with repeller rays in their smartwatches, secret agent assistants and wives who could fly, what would you do?
Well, I'd get corroboration from a neighbor.
Which you've done, sort of. What else?
I don't know.
You know, I'm getting hungry. Where shall we go for lunch?
That's a good question. I'll ask Greg's AI. Oh my god, that's it. His phone. We can get Simon's phone's location from the phone company.
Bravo!
Let's crank out a subpoena to get those phone records.
So, Annie, has Trevor told you about all his old girlfriends?
I think so. I'm not sure how I would know if he didn't. Anyway, the way he tells it, he didn't have all that many to begin with.
Really?
Yes, he says he was hung up on, well, me.
You as in the person who drives, or you as in the person who flies?
The one who flies before he met me, and the one who drives afterward.
It is downright sickening how infatuated he is with you.
You just wish Greg was that way about you.
I'm not sure that would be a good thing. Remember the things he used to say about Trevor when he was infatuated with you? Also, I'm beginning to think Greg might really be infatuated with me after all.
How exciting!
Oh, don't go shopping for bridesmaids' dresses just yet. Seems he has a type.
What do you mean?
Take a look at this picture.
She has short dark hair like you, and a very similar fashion sense.
Her name is Dot, and she and Greg were apparently very serious back when he was in college. I say apparently because Greg won't talk about her. I only know she exists because she called while we were on a date. And I only know how serious they were because she told him it was his annual reminder that she's never giving the ring back.
Ring?
She has his mother's wedding ring. He gave it to her as an engagement ring.
And she won't give it back? That's pretty low.
Granted, he was the one who broke up with her, but I agree with you.
Did he say why he broke up with her?
No. And he got very sullen after the call.
How could you tell?
Very funny.
Have a seat, Trevor, while I change out of my doctor's outfit.
So what tragedy did Dr. Calculus prevent today?
I got a cat out of a tree.
Oh, you're serious.
I usually am.
Well, if my experience is any guide, your AI, Betsy will be a formidable opponent to those other phone systems.
I hope so. There are some serious upgrades I want to do to the particle reactor power supply of my suit, and that costs money.
Doesn't everything?
Well, no.
You knew what I meant.
I did. Sorry. Bad habit. They've been at that off and on all day. Annoying. Let me see your phone.
Here.
And there is the memory card. Let me place it in the real Betsy's card reader and get that data from you, and here's your phone back.
Thanks. That reminds me, the coolest thing about your AI is that it knows when you're actually talking to it.
If you think that's cool, come check out the balcony.
No wonder you can hear it. It's right by your balcony.
Be careful of the rail.
The view is breathtaking.
That light! I can't see! When I could see again, I went down to the grounds, but all I saw were bloody wood chips. This was odd because I expected there to be a worker there. I called the police to report the accident, but then things got weird. The chipper appeared to have been rigged by remote control, and then the video from the building across the way made it look like I pushed Trevor. I knew what was coming, so I needed a lawyer. A good one. But there was one thing I needed to do first.
Anna Cat, I'm just going to leave the soup on the counter.
Thank you, Lenny.
You really need to eat.
I will. Did Kelly make the soup?
No, I did. I wanted you to eat it.
Thank you, Lenny.
It's still hard to believe.
I know.
I'll get it on my way out. Oh, it's you.
May I speak with Anna Cat? Alone? Please.
It's okay, Lenny.
Remember, I'm right next door.
I did not kill Trevor.
I know.
The police clearly think I did. I need a lawyer, and that's why I'm here.
I don't understand.
I want to hire Arch, but only if it's okay with you. Because I know I'll need you to speak to him to convince him. And I know you say you believe me, but I want to prove it to you.
How?
Like the building across the street, I have security cameras in my apartment too. Here's the video from mine.
Who is that?
I don't know, but she is responsible for the light that blinded me, and she's the one who pushed Trevor over.
Why don't you show this to the police?
I'm not sure that my algorithm to compensate for the light flash will hold up in court. And...
Yes?
Look what's in the corner of the shot.
Oh, your Dr. Calculus uniform.
If I go to trial, I'll give up my secret identity to save my life. But Arch is good, and I'm hoping he'll get it dismissed at the preliminary hearing. Meanwhile, I'm going to ask the Liberty Guild to see if they can find any proof that doesn't involve my secret identity.
I can't do it. Maddie could, though.
I wouldn't ask that of you, and Maddie can't do it because she'll be in court as a witness for the prosecution.
Ms. Goforth, isn't it true that you're in a relationship with Dr. Gregory?
Yes, more or less.
Given that, Your Honor, I'd like to treat her as a hostile witness.
You got that right?
You may ask leading questions.
Did you attend a holiday party with a defendant on December the 23rd of a year ago at his company's headquarters?
Objection. Relevance.
This goes to motive. And if the court will grant me some leeway, I believe the relevance will become clear.
Overruled for now.
I did.
And at this party, did you and the defendant discuss the pending marriage and honeymoon of your friend, the decedent's wife, and the decedent?
Yes.
And when you mentioned there would be an active volcano on the island, what did the defendant say?
Your Honor,
Answer the question.
he said, I hope he falls in.
Inside the police property warehouse.
You look cute in that police uniform, Snowy.
We'll do fashion tips later, Alice. Just get inside that chipper. Sergeant O'Leary will be back any minute.
Fine.
Whatever, fine.
So, what do you see?
Okay, I'm seeing plenty of blood in here, but I'm not seeing any skin or muscle cells or bone fragments.
Maybe it's a really good grinder, Alice.
Maybe, but there are usually small fragments of things that regular people can't see with the naked eye.
And you're not seeing those.
Yeah, not those. I'm also not seeing any pieces of cloth or microscopic fragments of his phone.
He definitely had it with him. And even someone cleaning the thing wouldn't be able to get rid of the microscopic pieces of plastic.
Snowy, I don't think Trevor was ever in here.
Which suggests...
Trevor's not dead!
I was going to say that. Who's the detective around here?
But where is he?
I don't know where he is, but I think I know how to find him. Or at least where to start. Let me text the special agent.
Someone's coming.
Quick, Alice. In my pocket.
McGillicuddy, is it?
Yes, sir.
You have no business in here. Back to your post.
Yes, sir.
In the courthouse hallway.
Arch is having a hard time in there.
Well, Dr. Gregory looks very guilty on the surface.
Speaking of that, have you heard from our friends?
Looks like you've talked them up.
What's it say?
Hang on. Oh, my. Yes, that could work. Anna Catherine, do you have your phone with you?
Yes, I turned it off for court.
Well, turn it on and find the last location of Trevor's phone.
Trace Trevor's phone?
Do not pretend that you cannot track his phone, dear.
All right. I have his location, but this was several days ago.
Check the date, the time, and the location.
Okay. Hey, wait. This was after he fell.
I don't know how, and I don't know why, but Trevor did not die in that wood chipper.
I have to run.
Don't forget to get your jogging suit.
Why are you doing this?
Oh, it's nothing personal. If it was, I probably would have killed you by now.
Look, I don't know you. I promise if you let me go, I won't tell anyone about you.
If you don't know me, how can you tell anyone about me? Anyway, once it's over, I'll let you go.
Once what is over?
You keep asking questions that I'm not going to answer. I'll be back with dinner later.
Oh, I don't want to die here. I was supposed to be with my 8 children in Anicat.
8?
An amazing woman.
Who were you expecting? The Kool-Aid man?
Well, he is pretty good at bursting through walls, too.
But can he do this?
Oh, yeah.
Counselor, you're wanted in court.
Say what now?
I'll tell you on the way. Seriously? 8?
And so, Your Honor, the state believes it has shown that there was a crime committed, and that through evidence of motive, means, and opportunity, it is more than likely that said crime was committed by the defendant, and we request he be bound over for trial.
Thank you, District Attorney Weiner. Mr. Davis, do you wish to put on a defense at this time?
Your Honor, may I have a moment? It appears my assistant has some information.
Your Honor, I object. What is this?
Give him a moment,
nonsense?
Frank.
Your Honor, I contend that the state has not made its case, as there was no corpse recovered by the police.
Your Honor, we have testimony that the wood chips at the scene were covered in the decedent's blood, confirmed by DNA testing.
Your Honor, blood is not a body. However, this is.
Order!
Hello, Judge MacDonald.
So, on my motion to dismiss...
Your Honor, in light of this development, the state withdraws its charges against Dr. Gregory.
In that case, Dr. Gregory, you're free to go. Case is dismissed.
I've never been so happy to be home in my life.
Don't ever do that to me again.
It's not like I planned to be kidnapped by a crazy lady.
But how did she get your blood all over everything?
Remember that blood drive I went to do that I didn't remember being signed up for? I think that woman was one of the volunteers in the blood bus.
So she stole your blood?
That's what I'm thinking. So do you know of any crazy villains that have light powers?
Besides Dr. Reflecto?
Wait a minute. Hold on, let me pull up my notes on my tablet. Come on. Ah, yes!
What yes?
He has a daughter, Beatty-Simon, and that's the crazy lady, see?
Uh-oh. She's not just your crazy lady. She's Greg's ex.
Betsy, why is my shower running? Betsy? Maddie? Is that you?
Welcome home, lover.
You've been listening to Season 2, Episode 6 of My Amazing Woman, titled My Amazing Trial, starring A.J. Cruz as Trevor and Lena Garcia as Anna Cat, guest starring Ramzey Zourob as Frank Weiner, featuring Sophie Flack as Madison, Nicole Beharrell as Olive, Frank Guglielmelli as Lenny, Ken Hallaron as Craig, and David Robbins as Arch, with Richard Braddock as Judge John MacDonald, J.B. Lynn Markos as Carla Beatty, Winter Noël as Alice, Kelsey Painter as Snowy Owl, Darlene Muniz as Dot Simon, and James C. Taylor as Sergeant O'Leary and your narrator. This episode was produced and written by James from an idea from Ken. It was voice directed by Mark Allen Bauer and dialogue edited by James, with sound mastering and original music also by James. Sound effects are from freesound.org. This is a production of Hey Daddy-O Audio in affiliation with Timewell Electronic Recording Productions, copyright 2023 by James C. Taylor, all rights reserved. This is a work of fiction. Names, characters, businesses, events, and incidents are the products of the author's peculiar imagination. Any resemblance to actual persons living or dead or actual events is purely coincidental.